Kirby, got a question when you started investing in real estate. At what point at what point did you say to yourself or think to yourself, I can now become or I am now financially independent from a job? How many units did that take? What was it looking like? How many years into the game were you, is there a certain magic number on how many units someone should have, or is it all about, something else that we're not looking at?
There's no magic number. Well, there is a magic number, but it's not as big as you hear a lot of these YouTube influencers or social media influencers saying. My thought process, if you don't plan over your lifetime to get 5 units, don't get one. So one is too little. Five, I believe, is the magic number. And the key of it is not how many units you have, it's the cash flow that you can produce from the units. Again, when you're buying real estate, or when I buy real estate, I don't plan on selling it. I don't look at the cash, I mean, the appreciation of the real estate. One thing I care about is the cash flow that it pays. The reason why I care about the cash flow that it pays is because bills are due every month. No matter if you got a paid off house or not, those bills still due. Insurance is still due. Property taxes still due. Lights, gas, water, what other bills, cable bills, and all that other stuff is still due every month. So that's the thing that I care about. The appreciation is just a byproduct of operating a sound investment and making sure the property is in a decent location. But that's the main aspect of it. So for me, my first rental property, I bought it. Uh, I paid $50,000 for it. I paid $50,000 for it. It was a condo. I believe I was bringing in 950 a month. 950 a month after HOA fees and stuff. I believe I cash flowed about $400 the first year. First $400 the first year, and then of course me being a stock guy trading, I'm like, wait, I paid $50,000 just to get $400 a month, and I'm like, wait, that's only what about $4,800 a year? I was like, I mean, of course I can find out the cash on cash return, but I was like, $4,800 a year, I could just trade a couple options and get that in a month, and it didn't make sense. Uh, and then of course, I had to do more math because I was like, it's not people that's successful in this thing that didn't do the math and realize one unit is not enough. And then I started doing the math and said, let me multiply this. And I wasn't thinking about rent increases or nothing. I said, so how many units would I need to, I mean, at the same price, same everything, how many units would I need to pay for my lifestyle and still have more over to save and stuff for, rainy day and things like that. And then the number was like, I need like what, 20, 30 units. That was what I was thinking. And then so a month later, after I bought the first rental property, I bought another one. It was about 52,000. Same area, but the rents was a little bit more. So the cash flow was a little bit more. So in the first two properties I had about roughly about $1,000 in cash flow in the first two condos that I bought. So $1,000 a month. And I was like, okay, so now it's making sense. $1,000 a month, that can pay for my lights, gas, water. And at the time I had cable, but it could pay for those bills. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. House I wasn't worried about, but I still had to worry about property taxes and insurance. And then so then from there I went on to buy a business, then bought a commercial property. And then right there, so that's one, two, let's just count the commercial as one. One, two, three, business, let's count that as four. So at four, the cash flow from those four would be able to cover all my necessities. I mean, I don't have a car payment and all the other stuff. If you have those car payments, then you need to bring the cash flow up. But then from there, every year I was able to raise the rent. So when I raised the rent, I mean, of course, the property taxes and insurance might go up a little bit, but the amount I was raising rent to was actually putting more money in my pocket. So now, fast forward, this is 2016. Now we're 8 years later. Uh, those those four properties can easily, or those four assets can easily cover my way of life. And then, of course, I went on to buy more units after that. But now for me, it's just, I love the process of going through real estate. But the key element of all of it is just because I bought multiples more properties since then. I didn't bring my lifestyle up to there. I was comfortable where I was at, and I just went on about life. Only thing that probably increases my food bill because I'm fat. But besides that, that's the only thing that's really increased. But that's why I say the magic number is five, and then you after you get, you have the 5 units. Of course, the debt's getting paid down from the rents. Your cash flow is increasing because of the rent increases. I don't care. I'm not thinking about the appreciation or nothing like that. I'm talking about the things that make you survive. Those things happen. If you're operating correctly, you should be raising the rents in most cases every year, every 2 years, max as you go along. And I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 units I had, I didn't raise the rents for the first 3 years because I just didn't know that aspect of it. But then I started getting into the game and like, okay, now it's time to raise the rents. And then, then I saw cash flow growing at an exponential amount of rate to, fund my lifestyle. And then that's really the magic number for me is it can't be one, but five is should be enough if you hold them for at least 7 to 10 years. And I say hold them forever, but 7 to 10 years, that's when you'll start seeing like, oh, okay, now I see where the money's at, and that's how you get there.
Okay. And I think we've heard that too, on like some of the webinars we watched, like different real estate investors talking about 7 units is a good number. So now, I mean, so fast forward like you said with the first four that you bought, so those can take care of your lifestyle. So you would say it's more so not how many units you can get up front, it's how many units you can get and hold on to, and then in the long term, those units, as you raise rents and as you adjust, expenses and stuff, those units in time, it's not just about how many units you can get, but how many you can get with being in it for the long term determines
Right.
if you will be able to be taken care of by those properties. Okay.
Right. And that's a key element of it is because you can go buy 100 units a day if you can afford that. You could buy 100 units a day, and let's say your cash flow even or your cash flow negative. That's just another expense out of your pocket.
Yep.
I mean, the key of it is do it intentionally on purpose, and you're trying to, you want to start off, at least, and me getting $300-400 a door, $300-400 a door, and then as time go on, then it will improve. But if you sit in a cash flow negative, and then you live in a high insurance state like Florida, or you live in a high tax state like Texas, and then the taxes going up, and every time you raise rent, that's just to cover the taxes and insurance, then really you're not making the money. Your cash flow is still $300, so you need more units to make that happen. I mean, but my focus every time I buy a property is on the buy. I want to make sure that I am highly in the green on the cash flow side. So when I'm increasing rents, that is money going in my pocket. Yeah, the insurance and the taxes are going to increase, but it's not going to increase by that much. So I do my due diligence on the tax process and the insurance process in states. I mean, I started off buying properties here in Florida. And then when I saw that the insurance rates was going crazy, I stopped, but I still had the debt pay down on the mortgages and things like that, and I still was increasing rents. And then in Florida, I can't lie, during COVID, the rent increases was exponential. I didn't go crazy with it, but I did raise rents higher than I would do in a normal time. So it still kept me in that. It still kept me in that flow. And then even my rents today is they're near market rates, but they're not exceeding market rates on none of the tenants that I have. But the reason why I was able to survive in Florida and not have to do like you see most of the listings you see in Florida right now, where it's a lot of distressed sellers and people that's motivated and having trying to unload property, is I did the due diligence up front, so I wasn't buying egregious properties, and I knew what the situation was that I was in before I just went in there blindly saying, "Oh, Florida's a good market, let's just go have at it." So that those are key elements of it. And then when I saw that Florida was getting unobtainable for somebody to have good cash flow in it, that's when I pivoted to other states to start investing in there. That met the dynamic of the investments that I was looking for.
With all that being said, guys, if you have any questions, let us know. Don't forget to hit the comment section up. Let us know what you think and if you disagree. Don't forget to like this video, share, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.